One of the things I feel is the hardest to be strict on, but that helps me tremendously, is fasting. I will speak from personal experience, but I will also present some studies and let my favorite health experts have their say on the topic. Fasting is high on the list of things I recommend after sleeping well and exercising. Intermittent fasting is popular for good reasons. My healthiest periods in life have been when I've fasted consistently for a period. I'm also more alert, awake, and focused, and I feel good in my body. The benefits of fasting are many, especially for people with IBD, in my case Crohn's disease. How often you eat and don't eat, how you break a fast, and how you eat all play a significant role in how you and your stomach feel. As I talked about before, raising or lowering inflammation. What do the leading health experts say about fasting?
And that gives you, the problem is when you fast for 3 days, you really can't pig out. You really shouldn't.
Well, your stomach will shrink in size already. Your gut microbiome is almost completely depleted by fasting. A lot of people think, cleanses and fasts are great for the microbiome. They quash your microbiome. However, when you start eating again, the microbiome comes back better than it was before your fast.
Many people I talk to with stomach issues will tell you we feel the worst when we eat too much and too often. Overindulging in food was one of the worst things for me. Except for living a happy, peaceful, harmonic life, not eating too often and too much is a key factor for my inflammation levels. How do I know? I've been fortunate enough to test my blood and stool samples since my surgery. That was 10 years ago. It's clear as day to me that when I keep up my regimen, I feel better and my stool samples show lower levels of inflammation. Listen here to what the longevity expert Dr. David Sinclair says.
There's a really interesting experiment that was published maybe a couple of years ago by Rafael DeCarbo down at the NIH. What he did was he took over 10,000 mice and gave them different combinations of fat, carbohydrate, protein, and he was trying to figure out what was the best combination. And then he also cleverly had two groups, one that was fed all the time, or ate as much as they wanted, and the other group was only given food for an hour a day. And it turns out they ate roughly the same amount of calories, because of course in an hour they're stuffing their faces. It turns out it didn't matter what diet he gave them, it was only the group that ate within that window that lived longer and dramatically longer. So my conclusion is, and mice are very similar to us metabolically, I think that tells us that it's not as important what you eat, it's when you eat during the day.
The study David Sinclair refers to is titled Effects of Intermittent Fasting on Health, Aging and Disease, published in the New England Journal of Medicine. DeCarbo and Matson found that intermittent fasting can lead to improved health outcomes, including weight loss, improved insulin resistance, and benefits to the cardiovascular system. I'll share a link to the article below. Reflecting on the lifestyles of our hunter-gatherer ancestors, we could go days without eating. Our metabolism isn't designed for us to eat high-calorie foods this often. We are designed to work for our food, and food is supposed to be scarce. How about starting easy with a 16-hour fast? Drink some tea if that works. Water and sparkling water usually works well for me. You will feel hungry when those 16 hours is about to end, but trust me, it's good for you. You're letting your stomach rest, you're allowing your body to choose which healthy cells to feed and which unhealthy cells to starve. It's called autophagy. Your body starts eating your cells, it starves bad cells, cleaning and recycling damaged cells and material. All religions propose fasting, and even if you don't have a specific belief, perhaps you can acknowledge that most religions carry some wisdom. Here is a video of George St-Pierre, a former UFC champion with ulcerative colitis. What does he say works best for him?
Well, unfortunately, I got into fasting after I retired. I really wish people ask me, would you have done it during the time that you competed? And the answer is yes. I think we live in a society that we're bombarded by publicity. Oh, buy this, eat protein, this, that, and fasting, nobody makes money with it because there's nothing to sell, you know? I think that's why a lot of people have not heard about it. And even for myself, if someone would have talked to me about the benefits of fasting when I was training before I got sick, I would probably have ignored him because I'm not, it's hard to believe.
Sounds ridiculous. Don't eat.
Yes.
It's going to help your mind and you're going to gain muscle potentially.
Exactly. And perhaps people have talked to me about it, but I kind of it went in one of my hair and got out from the other side, you know. But it really changed my life, and I was diagnosed with ulcer colitis, and it helps me get rid of all my symptoms. What I do is, I know a lot of people have ulcer colitis, and for me, I cannot recommend it to other people because everybody is different. But for me, I made a lot of research of how people from ulcer colitis got better, and I found out that a lot of people that got that condition get better in a natural way through fasting, eating fermented food, collagen, and like bone broth and stuff for the gut. And it made a huge difference in my life. I just wish I would have known that before.
Fasting puts cells under mild stress, which can enhance their ability to cope with stress and potentially resist disease. This is similar to how cells respond to the stress of exercise. Studies have shown that intermittent fasting can lead to weight loss and improvement in various health biomarkers. For example, overweight adults with moderate asthma who followed a fasting diet lost 8% of their initial body weight over 8 weeks and saw a decrease in markers of oxidative stress and inflammation. Now be honest with yourself. Don't you feel the worst when you overeat? If you want to know more about my health advice, more specifically on how to lower inflammation, visit livewithcrohns.com. I'll share the link to the website below, as well as the 3 articles I've been talking about. If you want me to create more content like this, please like, share, or subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much, and until next time, stay healthy.